Hello and welcome to 2019. This will be one of the most politically charged year as numerous countries on the continent will be heading to the polls. It's both a time for hope and with a bit of hindsight, of course, we also call for caution. You're watching Political Capital. I am Karabole Tlatla. It's an election year in South Africa and it's in full swing. You can tell that by the number of mushrooming political parties. Is this the year the ANC gets a real challenge at the polls? In 2018, 26 political parties registered with the Independent Electoral Commission, and most have a gripe against the ruling ANC. Here's a little story that I compiled. Two men with little in common living worlds apart. On the left is Jimmy Mzwanele, who's been a member of the ruling African National Congress, a professional who spent years in government and is now a leading light in a new political party, African Transformation Movement, or ATM for short. On the right, Konzani Marima, an unknown 28-year-old from Sunrise Park in Rustenburg. Marima is the interim chairperson and founding president of the Economic Social Democrats. Both these men want to lead their parties to parliament after the May elections. In South Africa, you can tell the election season is in full swing with the emergence of new political parties mushrooming faster than you can say, vote for me. But the starting point for most is their gripe against the ruling ANC.
After the radical economic transformation theme had been endorsed by the conference and all the resolutions having been passed by the conference, but then the leadership of the ANC decides that irrespective of what the conference has said, we're not going to do that, we're going to do something else. What then do we do?
Mzwandile Manyi's new home, ATM, was formed by several church leaders and its president, Vuyolwethu Zungula, who is also believed to be a Jacob Zuma loyalist. The party is calling for the reinstatement of the death penalty and the reintroduction of hard labor in prisons. The party claims it has a fresh approach to politics without the usual baggage. But after years in government and a close personal relationship with the Gupta family, isn't that baggage enough?
I'm going to find it very difficult to answer this question as to Mr. Servant Manyi's got baggage, because we don't know any baggage. He went to the commission and he was not found wanting. And I want to remind you, he's formerly from the ANC, which has an integrity commission. I do not remember at any given time when he was asked to present himself in that integrity commission. And so it's difficult for us to say we deny Mr. Servant Manyi the right to be part of our party because of perception that has been created.
There are 563 political parties registered with the Independent Electoral Commission. Over 100 are represented in legislative bodies, and 56 of those are at national level. In 2018, 26 political parties, such as ATM and Marima's Economic Social Democrats, registered for elections.
Yeah, the ANC, it might be a big machine, but I just look back on a biblical term. There is this chapter, or there is this verse of Goliath and David. I might be the David, they might be the Goliath, but I carry everything, every tool, every information. Because remember something, these very same people we are fighting for, they live in this very same situation. I'm not going to go and address what I heard. I'm addressing what I know.
Konzani started this party as a response to the lack of change for the better in his neighborhood. No running water, illegal electricity connections, and no economic opportunities. He hopes to win over the youth.
I engaged with young people, we spoke, hence that's when I come up with an idea of saying, rather someone should stand for these young people because they seem to be so tired and they don't know where they can unleash their efforts or unleash their anger. So hence most of them, they engage in strikes and drugs and all those kind of stuff. So I decided, no, I think I need to stand up and face the battle, step on the battlefield.
Marima has lived near Rustenburg for decades and feels neglected not only by the ANC, but also rebuffed by the mining companies that work this area, like Anglo, who he claims have not plowed back the profits.
It's a path which divides Sunrise Distributing and Caesar. Yeah, so most people, they cross from here to Caesar, and most people who are crossing here, some of them, they're working at this mine, which is Anglo Platinum, and we've got young children who cross here going to school, because in Caesar there is no school, so the school is in Sunrise Park. So now the danger is when it rains, the river is full, young people, young children, they cannot cross, and that's the only exit from this place, or else they have to take a taxi. Some of them, they don't have taxi fares. So we suggest, if it was possible, there was supposed to be a bridge which can assist people to cross when the river is full. And this water as well, it's unhygienic because this water is mixed with sewage.
But today, Konzani is putting his future on the line by leading a new political party. He is on his way to the Rustenburg Library to plant the seed that he hopes will grow into a robust opposition party, the Economic Social Democrats.
Yeah, on the launch, to be precise, I'm not expecting a lot of people because I don't have money to hire transport, and young people, these people I'm targeting, they're unemployed, they're not working. So I'm just expecting a handful of people so that at least we can launch a party, but we'll keep on doing rallies in our own societies. So on the launch, I'm not expecting even a lot of people because we don't have enough funds.
The Economic Social Democrats are self-funded, and that means doing everything yourself and paying for it. Parties like ESD will be going up against the behemoth called the ANC, with hundreds of thousands of members in every city and town in South Africa and a powerful financial muscle. And while the ANC was celebrating 107 years by toasting and echoing promises made and forgotten, Konzani tried to gather some support of the few on the fringes of the political scene.
Last year, we saw an increase of 1% tax, which is a wrong fiscal policy. And in the second quarter, we saw there was a job loss. 690,000 South Africans lost their job due to this wrong policy. Who cares and who spoke about this? No one. Who even asked how many small businesses closed? No one. Many people, they just care about vote for me to do what? Last year as well, we saw Mr. Governor, the central governor, increasing interest rates. To solve what? The problem we are facing in South Africa, I have done my own analysis. It's high rising cost, not demand expansion. So to solve cost to push inflation by increasing interest rates, it's uneconomical. So I want to send a message to Mr. Governor. If he does not know what he's doing, he should resign, and his team. So as young people, we need to stand on our feet. Yes, when they're campaigning, these old people, they tell us of Mandela. We all know Mandela was an icon, but an icon of what? An icon of that time. He stood on his young age to fight for the problem of their own generation, which was apartheid. Right now, we need to stand on our young age to fight for the problems we are facing, which is unemployment and poverty. We are in Rustenburg, surrounded by mines. But I want to tell you, there is communities like Caesar, Kanana. Most people in those communities are unemployed. You ask yourself, is this foreign investment working for us?
It will be a busy and tough fight for the minnows in the political pond. You can be sure that new parties like ESD will work hard for your vote in an election year that is likely to be the most tightly contested for the ruling ANC. Each vote will count, and the smallest parties are likely to work the hardest together.